Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, aim. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing How's everybody doing today? This your boy Doc Holiday. As always, we are back with another HBCU tonight. It's powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. If you're on the Twitter feed, as y'all already know, we do simulcast between Twitter and YouTube. If you're on Twitter, make sure you hit that follow button and come on to the YouTube section and hit that subscribe button. I will promise you today this will be a very interesting show. So I would tell you to strap up and let your hair down, because we got some craziness going on right now from last night's just a bit from last night. Also, what we also gonna talk about is the dominance, the dominance of Norfolk women's basketball, starting out in the tournament as a 13th seed. We also will delve into what's next for Jackson State men's and women's basketball. And last but not least, it's that time where we all come in for a mental health check. Haven't done it in a while, but I think it is time. It was about time for us to do this again. As far as with our mental health and where we stand at on it right now. But other than that, we'll be right back with a word from the sponsor.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holiday with HBCU Overdrive, and I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
Oh man, we back. What's going on, bro? What's happening? Let me see. Get the guy up here. So we'll talk about what's going on. First and foremost, I want to say this. Congratulations to Alabama State for winning the men's basketball tournament for the SWAC. and representing the SWAC in the NCAA tournament. First and foremost, I know I didn't say it on Saturday. I kind of felt salty a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. Second of all, I want to congratulate them again for winning their very first tournament game in the NCAAs by defeating St. Francis on a wild second half shot. What late second half shot to put them up by 2. That's what I want to say. Because that I watched that play. I watched that play over and over again. And I'm just trying to figure out what in the hell was St. Francis doing? I'm trying to figure out what in the hell what in the hell was St. Francis even doing? First and foremost, if you're a big man and you're not known for dribbling, and you have an issue with dribbling, you should not be dribbling the ball down the court to try to advance the ball past half court. Second of all, there's no way in the world if you are the point guard, if you are the primary ball handler, your job is to call for the ball. The game is tied already. Your job is to call for the ball. You advance the ball past half court, try to get yourself into foul trouble. Try to get them in foul trouble. I'm sorry. And I don't know. I don't know what else you would. I don't know what else you would think. But here's the thing. The last shot of the game, and whoever threw the ball in for Alabama State, I'm gonna need you to go out and try out for the football team because you throw a better pass than the quarterback from last season. Yeah, I said it. Come fight me. But that was one hell of a that was a hell of a Hail Mary pass. And of course, the sea of hands, you know what I'm saying? The sea of hands, people try to get this ball, they try to get the ball, fell into the right hand. Game is over with. Appreciate you. What's going on, Mr. McPhail? So I'm gonna need my man, whoever threw the pass last night. I'm gonna need you to go out and try out for the football team. They're gonna need some help. They're gonna need some help on the football team. So I just wanna I had to put that out there because it was funny to me. It was funny to me. But at the same time, this not only does that last shot advance Bama State to the actual, they would say the actual first round, but I call it the second round. I don't, the first four should be the first round. The first four should be the first round. And the second round should be when whoever wins the first four, you go into the next round. But not only does this helps out, this gives Alabama State a win under their notch, under the belt, but this also gives the SWAC a win too. From what I heard from reports, Alabama State's win, it's an extra $2.1 million into the pockets of the conference, and we will be getting, and I say we because it's to the whole conference, and it's distributed to each member school. We get $2.1 million for the next 6 years. And each time a member of that conference win, you get an equivalent of whatever, however much. $2.1 million for the next 6 years is a godsend. So let's just say this: you got 14 SEC teams in the tournament, right? Out of all of those teams in the first round, maybe let's say 8 advance, 6 take their ass home. Out of those 8, you get $2.1 million for the next 6 years for your conference. At 16 million, close to 17 million, because it's 16.8 for those schools. Let's just say if Norfolk, the men, win, God, let them win against what Troy would call them, the boot skins. That is Florida. I ain't gonna call them no boot skins. I'll call them some gator skin. I'll call it a gator belt. But just think, if they won against Florida as a 16 seed, first of all, it will make news all around because it's Norfolk State knocking out Florida, the SEC giant, a 2-time national champ. But it will give money to that institution and to the conference. Because to me, hey, y'all need some money. Y'all need some money. But anyway, that is a big, to me, that is a big win for everybody in the SWAC. The link to jump on the stream is in the chat. But that is a big deal towards that. That's a big deal to everybody in the SWAC. What else does it do for our conference? I mean, it will shed a spotlight. It will shed a spotlight because now Alabama State moves on to take on the #1 overall seed Auburn Tigers. And Alvin just said just like this, fuck Auburn. I'm an SEC guy. When it comes to football, I'm Tennessee. When it comes to basketball, I am the University of Memphis all day, every day. But I want to see if I can find that video. All right, here we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit back, relax like a fat cat, and let y'all see this the last seconds of this game right here. Now, this is brought to you by Bleacher Report. So
Kelly. Oh boy. Pass.
I don't know. You can't write a better script than that. You cannot write a better script than that. That is something for the ages. That these players, the coach, whoever, everybody is gonna tell their kids, especially the coach, gonna tell his grandkids the day that they won the NCAA tournament. Tournament game. But hey, like I said, first and foremost, off the rebound, the big guy takes the ball down. First of all, he literally pulled a Chris Webber. Instead of, and y'all know I hate going down this back road right here, but remember when Chris Webber began the game Michigan played against North Carolina, and Chris Webber got the rebound, and he traveled first. They didn't see it, and then he picks his dribble up. He dribbles all the way towards the corner and picks his dribble up. He called for the timeout, which they didn't have. Now, this is somewhat, in a sense, how this went. The big guy, first of all, he's dribbling with his left hand. So that means that he feels awkward dribbling with his left hand. He's pretty much right-handed because he's using his right hand to shield off the defender. Not only that, the refs missed the carry call. Hold on. He missed the carry call, and of course, wild scramble for the ball, and then the he basically, the guard picks it up, basically goes off his knee and couldn't say the ball. So, it is what it is. They won, Bama State won the game. And then you see, like I said, the football, the Hail Mary football pass, like I said, whoever threw that ball need to go ahead and try for the football team because you're better than the quarterbacks that they have on. You better than the quarterbacks they have on the roster right now. And I'm being dead serious. And I'm being dead serious. So, yeah, I you know what I'm saying? Like this is something that they need, I know they did, they drew that play up, they worked on that play, but at the same time, that play worked. It worked to me, it worked to perfection. And again, they picked up their first tournament win as a program. To remember, they spent a lot of their years out from 1982 before. They spent a lot of their years in the SWAC. So they only been a Division I program for 40 years. For 43 years to be exact. What's going on, sis? How you doing? But to me, they got their first NCAA Division I tournament win, which is a good step for their program. But again, they're going up against the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, which is Auburn. And like I'm gonna say, fuck Auburn. So I don't see Auburn getting past anything. I'm doing good. We coming over here. We gonna get it to the nitty gritty in a little bit. But other than that, like I said, not only is it a big win for them, it's a big win for the conference. It's a big win for the conference. It's a big win for all 12 members in the conference. But let's go ahead and get it going. All right. Oh man, we got my partner Troy from Fat Mouth Sports, Gathering Old Men Podcast, Badness Basketball. What's going on, man? You on mute? Let me see something. I think you're on mute.
Test. Can you hear me?
Got you now.
All right. Yeah, I had to switch mics. Oh man. Well, thank you for having me. Good evening.
Oh yeah. It's good to have people. We might need to keep doing this right here. Crossover shows, man. It's a good thing for us.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As long as that lady ain't around, I'm all for it. Well, I don't know. Like, we had a discussion after the podcast that I didn't acknowledge her presence after she got in the house. So I was like, all right, my bad. My bad. I'll do better.
So yeah, we talked about last night. I just talked about last night's win for Bama State. I just talked about how this puts money in the conference pocket as a whole. And now we're gonna talk about the women because Southern is in the play-in game for the women in the first four. They play. In fact, they play tonight against UC San Diego.
Yeah, they play at 9:00, and I thought everybody was posting 8:00, and I was on Twitter ready to riot because I'm seeing Princeton and Princeton and Iowa State. Yeah, I'm like, no, we gonna cut somebody. Where's Southern at? So
So yeah, I think, and this is the first year. I think this is the first year that the women's tournament is getting paid. This year,
I think they get the same amount of money.
They get the same amount of money as the men's. So again, if the women, if Southern women win, the SWAC win. The SWAC wins all around because guess what? You're gonna get I don't know if it's $1 million or you get a $2 million payout to the conference for the next 6 years. So I think it's a win-win situation, and I'm glad that the women are actually finally getting paid to, getting some money, some revenue, because the way that sport had, the way that side has been going, like they are ridiculous. But I don't think.
Wasn't it like 3 years ago? It might have even been during COVID when that young lady posted the facilities, and that went viral because the women's workout facilities was like a ballroom and some weights, and the men had full-blown facilities. I think that was 2021, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. I'm about to say, remember, we didn't have no tournament in 20.
So it might have been 21. Whenever they
when we came back. Yeah. Well, to me, I just think like this. It's good to have the women get paid. Because they should have been getting paid a long time ago. Long time ago. I'm talking about once women's basketball started excelling in the 90s. When UConn first started going on their run and Tennessee started becoming a real household name for women's college basketball, they should have started paying them these ladies. So they got a good chance to get a check cut.
We had these conversations about what we get excited to watch, and it's going on 3 years now where the women's game has been just a better overall experience for the fan.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever, and especially, listen, I know where I come from. I know where I got my piece of paper from. But I am not excited to watch regular PWI basketball. If it ain't these young ladies here, I'm not rushing home to see North Carolina and whoever. I'm not rushing home to see Auburn play. Well, because Bruce Pearl gonna wet the bed anyway. But
pretty much.
If you give me a SWAC basketball game, a Norfolk State basketball game, a MEAC basketball game, I'm tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a better product. It's been absolutely a better product, and you can't deny it. I mean, look at last night. Like, SWAC basketball on full display on national TV. 700. What is it? $786,000 over the next 5 years. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Nah, they said 2.1.
Oh Jesus. Oh gee, it's gonna. You know.
Dr. McClellan, he got that up for us, for everybody.
So it's for all of the media rights screaming I do, one of the ways we can make it an even playing field as far as finances is concerned is get you a coach that can get you into the tournament and win you a game.
Mm-hmm.
Tamalo say all high tides raise all ships.
Yep.
Everybody just got up. So.
Yep. But let's speak on that. We got, like I said, Southern women take on UC San Diego tonight. Tonight, said 9:00. That's the first part of the first four for the women, which I think I like. But again, Southern win. It's still a win. That's a win for them, but it's also a win for the SWAC. And then we all going to take that look at Norfolk State and what they're going to do as a 13 seed. A 13 seed. In fact, they don't even play until Saturday.
But yeah, a lot of the women's matchups play on Saturday, which is crazy. But
yeah, they play on Saturday. Even though I'm gonna be at work, but I'll be at work early in the morning. I am going to watch that game. I want to watch and see how they do against Maryland. I think they have the better shot to actually upset and beat Maryland. Is it one of the Maryland teams from a while back? I don't think so. But I want to see what I want to see Diamond Johnson get off. I want to see her. I want to see Diamond Johnson take off. That's what I want to see. I want to see how this team goes in adversity. And see, here's the thing. ESPN doing a matchup predictor ain't giving them a damn chance to win against Maryland. They're giving Maryland a 95% chance to win the game and only giving a 5% chance for Norfolk State to even win this whole matchup.
I'll say this. If you look where the money at, the big money.
Oh, it's in the big team.
The big money then put money on Norfolk State. And I'm not even sure why. Maryland didn't turn no heads in the Big Ten this year. They played well, but they didn't turn no heads.
They lost to Michigan. They lost to Michigan in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament.
You know, see what I'm saying? So trying to make them seem like they're not giants. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be huge when Norfolk State knocks them off. For everybody that is not aware of HBCU basketball, we've been talking about Norfolk State for the last, 4 years?
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're looking at, but it's going to get dark. If Maryland don't handle that pressure, it's going to get dark early.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry don't believe in letting off the gas. He don't. What was it, the championship game? It was a moment in the championship game where it just looked like Norfolk State just went, okay, we here. And they went on like a 15-point run in like 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And game was over. It was over. And it ain't a lot of teams that can do that. But that little diamond in the rough, man, she's a little engine that could. She is an engine that could.
All right, hold on 1 second. Keep talking, Troy. Be right back.
So, again, everybody, hello. This is my first pop in. I'm extremely excited about this women's bracket. I'm ready for the Southern game. I feel like Southern can shock the world. I think we're kicking off right now. Yeah, I think Southern can shock the world. Couple keys to this game is going to be rebounding. They are going to have to apply some pressure and get some turnovers. I think if they can keep it close within probably the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, I think they can pull out a win. This UC team is not. Again, they're here, so they're not thought of well. Let me check. The problem with Norfolk State, I don't think they have wins because they were always 16 seeds. So the 16 seed, you end up playing in South Carolina. You end up having to go all the way out to Santa Clara to go play Stanford. So I don't think they have tourney wins right now in the last 4 years. So let me check. And let me see, tourney wins. Yeah, so in 2023, they were 16 seed. They lost to South Carolina. 24, they were 15 seed. They lost to Stanford. And then in 2002, they go all the way back 2002, they played Duke in the first round and lost to Duke again. 16, 16, 15, and they are 13 this year. So they haven't been given the best seeding. But I tell you what, I wouldn't bet against them this year. That's for sure. Looks like Southern struck first. Hey, so Southern is in the powder blues. Hey, is Heidi Vanderveer, is that Tara's sister? Because I feel like that might be Tara's sister.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, man, look, how many wins how many tournament wins do they have in the last 4 years?
Yep. So 4 years ago, I think they played. I think they played either in the NIT or that CBI tournament. And then the last 3 years, they have a 13 seed this year, a 16, and a 15. So they've always played either the 1 seed or the 2 seed.
I agree with you on this. I kind of agree with you on this, but at the same time, how many times have we seen a team from the SWAC who had a record that was below 500 and they got in the tournament?
We have an SEC problem, right? So
let's get into it.
We got all these teams that we have to go play any and everybody across the world to get money games. Then we turn around and then we beat up on each other. So when they come around and start doing that, I hate that net system. I thought I hated the RPI system. I hate this net system. But when they come back and do the net and you're like, oh, okay, well, the net is this. And believe you me, because of that, man, if that net I'm trying not to cuss.
We cussing over here. We cuss on here.
If Norfolk State would have somehow stumbled in the MEAC tournament, all the work they did this year, they would have found a way to keep them out. They would have kept them out the tournament. So when it came to the men's side in the SWAC, I'm FAMU. I wanted us to beat Southern, but the narrative was the same for Southern men. Had the Southern men gone unscathed and won the tournament, they probably would have still been a play-in. But it's at some point we got to get two teams in. We absolutely got to get two teams in both conferences, because again, in the MEAC, I think the MEAC probably had close to two teams that should have gotten the tournament. I think
they could, but this is the thing though. They need to fix it is they gotta. It has to be. They just gotta say, look, we want to be a 2-bid team, but let's just say because the MEAC is only 8 teams, right? And when it comes to college basketball, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
So to me, I think the SWAC should be a 2-bid team, to a big conference. It should be the conference tournament champion, and it should be the regular season champion to qualify for it. But at the same time, they don't. This is nothing what they wanted. They never wanted us to be in the tournament in the first place. And if you see it on the men's side, but on the men's side, right? The NIT, the what's that? The CBI, the CIT. Well, I guess the NIT and the CIT, right? They don't want black cop. They don't want HBCUs in their tournament because they say it brings down their value. And they kind of going out for what happened when what was that? What year? When Alcorn played in the NIT they played against North Texas. And they could have had them in the first half, but UNT just ran up and down the court with them. They was like, this is drowning our product. But if you look on the other side, on the women's side, they said, fuck that. We bringing in any other school from the HBCU conference to come play in our tournament. And Dawn Thornton and her squad didn't hesitate to not even blink an eye and accept that invitation. Who else? Who else in the women's NIT? It's Texas Southern. Texas Southern. Soon as that game was over with, what we see 30 minutes later, they accepted the bid to the WNIT, and they are hosting. And they hosted the first game at home.
So I'm going to, again, coming where I come from, I'm going to acknowledge two things, right? These mid-major teams out there are not better than the HBCU mid-majors, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just have the ability to not have to travel all across the United States to get money games. They get to do home and home game series with other schools because they're going to generate the revenue both in TV deals and in fans in their area.
Right.
I hated that I couldn't get to as many FAMU games as I wanted to this year because that revenue helps the school not have to schedule money games.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, dude, they're not better. Now there are some play style differences that the SWAC is starting to change into, and I think the MEAC is going to start going to the more pro style NBA product.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like I said yesterday, if you look at that Ivy League game, I swear to
Right.
God, I was looking at FAMU and Jackson State. I swear to God, that's what I was looking at because they were like, we have this mindset that they just chucking up threes, they're settling for jump shots. No, they was out there actively hunting jump shots, down screen, curls.
They were doing everything. They were doing anything and everything to make sure they get themselves open. They can get a shot off.
Exactly. So I'm excited for what the future. And again, the MEAC is thinking about heading that way based on play styles. But SWAC, that SWAC basketball, it is something different.
It's exciting. It's exciting when you look at it. Like it. Sometimes some games you see a blowout, and it be some games where it go down to the wire. And the ones that go down to the wire be having everybody blood pressure up because you just don't know what's gonna happen.
But that's why we watch, right? We watch for exciting games. We don't necessarily watch to see 88 to 45. That's not what we're here to see. But again, I'm gonna beat the dead horse. There's no reason for other mid-major conferences. See how I'm being politically correct on your show. See, I'm being good on your show. There's no
we
reason
cuss on our show.
There is no reason for other mid-major conferences to have better media rights deals than the SWAC and the MEAC. I'm sorry, your product. I mean, there are. And don't get me wrong. There are better resource mid-major conferences that have better resources. But it's some lower tier mid-majors. I'm sorry, y'all ain't even got no business being on the court with the SWAC. Period. Right. And that game last night, Bama State had a 7'1" dude on the court.
Mm-hmm.
St. Francis' biggest dude was what, 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the disparity in height at the guard position, that would have been a blowout.
I'm gonna say I say it like this when I seen the replay. Just looking at it, it's like Bama State should have never been down in that game because they was only down by 5 at halftime. So they should have never been down in that game. I think the most they should have been up was probably about 4 or 5 points, right? Mm-hmm. But this is sometimes what they do. They get down to the opponent, and then when they really realize that they backs are against the wall, they pull out a come from behind win. And I think this is what that last night's win was, the 10th or 11th come from behind win since like freaking it's March, since late January.
No.
So again, they move on. They play Auburn. Fuck Auburn. Yeah, I said it.
You ain't wrong. You know how I feel about
Auburn should never. Auburn does not need to be the overall number 1 seed. You lose to Alabama twice. That's did count. This counts everything that you did for the whole season. I think Duke should have been the number 1 overall seed. And that's a crying shame right there.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I think Duke has a better 6 through 10 rotation than anybody else in the nation. I am not subscribed that Duke has the best starting 5 in the nation. Yes,
they got the best player.
They got the best player, but the other guys around that best player, Knipple is a wild card. Like if you watch their games, Knipple feel like he's supposed to be the man. Yeah. And I never call out players, but from the early season, what was that? Who did they lose to? Was it they lost like Kansas or somebody early in the season? And I know the play was supposed to go to Cooper Flag. And Knipple was like, I don't know why you're looking over here, and chucked up a 3. And they lost. And I was just like, that's terrible. But Duke, when you have that much talent, and I don't know how well their coaches. I want to be clear.
See, that's the thing. It's different. It's different. So Auburn, Auburn been dominant the entire season, but still, you lose to Alabama, and then you get dog walked by Florida in one of your conference games. I don't think you deserve to be number one. Well, in fact, didn't they lose in the semifinals of the tournament?
Yeah, they lost in the semifinals of the SEC. But again, they're supposed to be dominant when you ain't got to tell your people, your donors, that you ain't got to launder money no more. You can give it directly to our NIL collector. They supposed to be dominant. Cool, man. Bruce Pearl is the only dude that told the university while they was doing an investigation into the program, yeah, I ain't gonna testify. I'm straight.
So they beat Florida by over 20 points. That was in the regular season, but hey, they still.
Florida didn't have their 7-footer. Their 7-footer was hurt. Florida didn't have their 7-footer. Florida didn't have one of their 7-footers. Florida has learned from Florida State. They got 2 7-footers. They got a 7'1" dude and a 7'9" dude. The shooters that they got are great. You ain't never heard me say nothing nice about a boot skin. This is about, you need to record this. This ain't gonna happen again.
Oh, it's on wax.
Their shooters are great, but the difference is because if you looked at that FAMU game early in the season, FAMU held them to 19% from 3. But they have a 7'1" and a 7'9" dude that they can just bring in the game and pound the boards. So that's the difference. That's the difference right there.
So they lost to they lost to Florida. No, they lost to Alabama by 2. They lost to Tennessee in the semifinal against in the conference semifinal game. They lost by 5 in that game. They lost to Texas A&M. That one was the one that I think that they should have been a number 2 instead of a number 1. Losing to Texas A&M by 11 late in the season, it's like getting your wisdom teeth pulled with no anesthesia.
And you know that's what the people was hollering about. Oh yeah, this is the reason why Texas A&M need to be in the tournament. Look at that.
They lost to Florida by 9. But he did say they did beat Florida by 20
though. Auburn has, as they say in blue chips, the best players money can buy.
Oh yeah, they lost to Duke.
So again, Auburn has no business losing in anything less than a championship game. However, they got Rick Pitino. Real quick, Southern women is hooping.
They hooping right now?
They hooping. It is, what's the score? I think it's 19-11. Sonya Reed.
I can't believe I'm saying that, man.
I'm saying it for you so you don't have to say it. I'm saying it for you. I understand. Trust me. Right now, FAMU is losing to them boot skins in baseball. Now, man.
But let's go ahead and get into it. We got we're gonna keep an eye out on Southern on the women's side, so that way people, if you're watching the game, we keeping an eye on Southern. It's on ESPNU. End of the first quarter, 19-11. That's what she said. If this is a big win, it will be a big win for Coach Funches. Yeah, I said tonight. That school in Baton Rouge. That school at Scotlandville. Yeah, I said tonight. So, second on the list, man. What happens next to Jackson State basketball, men's and women's? And then we're gonna go around the whole conference. Sit minus Alabama State right now, and there's some other schools. But let's start up before we get to Jackson State. Let's start off with Alabama A&M on the men's side. They need Jesus.
So I haven't checked the news, right? Because I know there are people posting, "Oh, a SWAC coach gonna change teams and all of that." I didn't know who the coach was gonna be.
Okay, let's talk about that before we switch up to that. So reports came out today that Alcorn State's Landon Bussey, the Bussey Bear hit from Alcorn, is taking the men's head coaching job at Chicago State University. Now, he's going to look. Obviously, Chicago basketball is a whole different wave up there than what you see down south. Can he be successful in Chicago?
If he can get the kids that aren't leaving. So if he can get, if he can get just the local 2-stars, he can build his program. And Chicago State is a HBCU, right?
No, well, they're not designated as an HBCU. They're a predominantly black institution.
Okay. So if he gets those kids, he has a chance to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I'm new to SWAC. I've heard about the limitations that Alcorn has because they so far out in the reservation and all of that.
Them dudes is in the boondocks.
And please understand, after driving to Alabama State, I'm a little leery about driving to Alcorn and Mississippi Valley. But if the resources are there, I can see. But if I'm looking at apples to apples, I feel like there may have been other reasons that made Chicago State more attractive. And again, this is all speculation. I'm just looking at the two institutions because Chicago State told everybody, "Hey, we finna be Division I basketball. We finna make that move." And for financial reasons, I can see why. Like, if you just get in the tournament, you get the bag. So it makes sense. But it was rumors about the SWAC coach leaving for the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was concerned for both the institution I love and the SWAC as a whole, because the names they was throwing out there, I was like, ooh, anything less than a Missouri job or, you know what I mean? Something like that. And anything less than that, it's a step down.
Right.
So again, I'm glad for that. But as far as Jackson State is concerned, I think Jackson State is fine. I think the fans may be upset at the fallout of the game, but the difference between, and I'm the worst fan on the planet. If you've seen my crash outs, understand I know who I am, right?
Yep.
But it's y'all not in a bad situation. Y'all not. Y'all are probably one or two when it comes to especially basketball, with resources to be able to improve.
Okay. So I don't know. I mean, for Coach Buster to go to Chicago State, that's a good one. That's a good one. Try to figure out what the conference is that they're going to be playing in, because they're not playing in the WAC, if I'm not mistaken, for basketball. Let me check. Let me see, because I remember I talked to Dr. Mo Carroll. She's the athletic director for Chicago State. But we was talking more as far as football wise, because she was trying to bring a football team to the school, which I think it should be going. They are in the Northeast. They're the NEC, the Northeast Conference. They was in the Great West Conference, and then I know they was in the WAC. They've been in a couple of conferences. The MCC, the Great West, Western Athletic, Independent last season. They was independent last season, and now they're in the NEC. So, just like you said, if he could get the kids from, if he don't have to get the top kids from like Simeon or Farragut or Crane or Julian or Westinghouse. It's another one. CVS, Marshall. Shit. I don't know. Even Whitney Young. Like, if he could go, but if he go to the schools and get, even if somebody that started, the name ain't really out there. If he could pull somebody from a Simeon or a Westinghouse or a King, if he could pull somebody from a Crane or whatever high school in the city of Chicago, we ain't talking about the outskirts of Chicago, but in the city limits of Chicago, I think he can he can go further than anybody else. All right, let's keep it up with. Let us know what's up. But I think he has a chance to win in Chicago. I mean, of course, the transfer portal is going to be it's going to be open all around. So, but let's think about this. They have not made a NCAA tournament.
All they have to do, and if I have now been enamored with the people who follow the transfer portal, and so my timeline looks like just nothing but every transfer that's entered the portal. He can get those kids in Chicago because he can give them the opportunity to play faster.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got to go to a JUCO. They can play right now. And he can still go to the transfer portal. The number of guards that are in the transfer portal right now I don't know where they're going to land.
Right.
I feel like it's more guards in the transfer portal than there are spots in the NCAA. Because all the guards decided to leave. That's crazy. And to be clear, most of the guards, they're 6'5" and lower and shorter. So, the 6'6" guards, 6'6" to 6'8" guards, those get scholarship offers like as soon as they hit the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Them dudes gone. but the 6'5" and down, it's a lot of. And it's because I'm able to see in real time. This transfer portal, it's gonna I wasn't think I'm players get to move wherever they want to move because of what I saw when I was at Florida State and dudes being stuck and not being able to go nowhere and was better than anything in the nation, but they couldn't play at Florida State. My view might change because how many players gonna actually find a squad now? It's coaches can it's more talent than there is spots, and coaches it's a buyer's market. They can get whoever they want.
Right now, and then another thing, this came through the grapevine today. There have been rumors that a certain coach that used to coach in the state of Arkansas, they're looking at her to come and coach the actual Arkansas team. We're talking about Dawn Thornton, who just got the job at Alabama A&M. They are University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. You know, home of Jerry Jones, home of Jimmy Johnson, home of the late Brian Mallett. Rest in peace to you, Matt Jones. You know, home of Nola Richardson in that Arkansas 40 minutes, that 94 feet of hell. They are clearly looking at Dawn Thornton to take over that women's program. And remember, she beat them last season.
I'm gonna say this. I want her to get all of her accolades. I want her to get all of her flowers, all of her money. I wish her nothing but the best. At the same time, she is a beautiful marketing gem for the SWAC.
Yeah.
And just know that this tweet is subject to deletion if my wife see it. But she is a beautiful marketing tool for the SWAC. And what she's done in a very short amount of time is commendable. And if Arkansas does pluck her from Alabama A&M, they're getting the gym. They're getting more than just a basketball coach. They're absolutely getting the gym. I can go so many things I can say. Some of them I'm gonna get in trouble, so I ain't gonna say it. But just know that it's an Alabama State dude threatening to cut me about Alabama A&M women's basketball coach.
Hey man. Look, we know what we see out there. So, hey man, look, I wouldn't call this a Deion effect. I know some people they'll think about it, they'll call it a Deion effect, but I don't think this is a Deion effect. I think this is clearly Arkansas, the Razorbacks, clearly saw something in Coach Thornton when she was at Pine Bluff. You know what? This sounds. Well, that's interesting right there.
Oh man, volleyball ain't like when I was in high school and college. Because of travel teams and all of that, young ladies, kids, I'm gonna say kids, you know, from 13 to through high school, they specialize in sports now. So the kids that was, you know, when volleyball season ended or when basketball season ended, they was playing volleyball and vice versa. those kids are specialized now. They're not switching sports. They volleyball all the way through, and they basketball all the way through. It's the specialization of sports, and it's money, man. If you're a parent and you taking your kid to these tournaments, and I'm about to go through this again with Ash. You taking these kids to these travel tournaments. It ain't cheap.
Nah, it ain't cheap. They be trying to price the shit out of us.
Like my middle son, I was hoping he'll tell me he only wanted to play football, but he wanted to play basketball. And I'm like, do we really have to do this? Because it's expensive, and the seasons never end. As soon as you end a high school season, it's an AAU coach, a travel coach going, "Hey, is your kid interested in?" And I be wanting to say so bad, man, I want to punch you in the face. Get away from me, because it's a lot. So when they get to college, yes, you're gonna have that 6'5" girl on the volleyball team that's not playing basketball, because again, she's specialized for the last 3-4 years in nothing but volleyball, and then the same thing with basketball.
But then again, you think about this though. The last person I seen play volleyball, but was even a better basketball player, was Chase Buttiger when he was in the NBA. Because if y'all really know, he was at Arizona.
Arizona, okay, yeah.
Yeah, those West Coast teams do have men's volleyball there. Hey, shit. I think some of them dudes' vertical is higher than mine. I know if I had my left knee was good enough and I lost about 160 pounds, it'd have been on. It'd have been on. Like, hey, my vertical is up there, y'all. Y'all just don't know. Y'all don't know. I'm talking about at least a 40, 42 is vertical. Don't sleep on me back in the day. But get back to the subject. The fans at Alabama A&M love Coach Thornton. But at the same time, what other opportunity will another SWAC coach get, especially an SEC job on the women's side? We ain't talking about how Coach Reed went over to the American with Charlotte. We're talking about Coach Thornton possibly, if she wanted to, taking an SEC job.
So again, if we look through the landscape, that opportunity doesn't happen a lot. Not without a stop in between, right? We look at Coach Matter. He was an Arkansas assistant.
Talking about Coach Matlock?
Yeah, Coach Matlock. He was an Arkansas assistant. It took him, Auburn assistant. It took him a long time to get to this point. And he is on the big stage against the school that he used to coach at. These opportunities don't come along.
Right.
Yeah, these opportunities don't come along for ACC coaches. So I would understand if she took the job. I would be sad for a minute, but I would understand if she took the job.
Right.
But I think I would be wrong if I didn't tell the fans that, look, those big time PWIs, it is more about relationship with boosters than anything else.
Yeah.
The boosters determine everything. And I've seen a booster go from a booster to the athletic director. And it was because of the relationships that coaches had with the boosters that allowed certain institutions to be successful.
I'll say this Coach Funch's team was built to beat Tamika's Reed Jackson State team.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
so one of the things that there are 4 premier, I'm gonna go ahead and say 6 premier institutions in the SWAC. They have facilities.
Yeah.
They have the athletic director, and I don't know the booster situation or the alumni situation because the HBCUs is more alumni than booster. But those teams have the ability to activate their alumni booster core and raise money in a real quick amount of time.
Yeah.
And when I talked to Trav at SWAC Media Day, and I asked him, "Hey, what's 40 bucks?" Because he was talking about it, but I didn't really get all of it. And when he told me JSU by 40, when he explained to me the whole process, I'm like, "That's genius. That's genius. That's $2 million a month."
Yeah.
Do you know how many mid-major programs don't get $2 million a month? And if I'm understanding, I'm not sure. I don't think y'all are there yet, but that's a good goal. Like even if you at 800,000 a month, that's a lot of money. So, I mean, but yeah. But getting back to your point, yeah, Coach Thornton has an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
I reluctantly wish her the best because I like us to keep our own. And I know that sounds selfish, but if our own is on a national stage representing us, it feels different when they leave.
Yeah.
Than if in the process they leave. And she's doing an amazing job. There's no slight to what she's doing right now. I'm just saying, like, to have her in the university on that level at the same time, man, that'll be amazing. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see what's going to happen. Let's see what transpires in the next 72 hours. I'm gonna give it a 3-day process. Because remember, she still got to play in a tournament. So, so I don't even think, and I think they're favored to go a little bit further than what it is. The like I said, the knock on Dawn is that she has never beaten Jackson State, even when she was at Pine Bluff. She ain't never beat Jackson State. Even when she was at A&M, she ain't beat Jackson State with a new head coach or whatever. And she could never get out of the quarterfinal round of the tournament too. So that was knock on her. But other than that, she can recruit. She can recruit and she can coach her ass off. But it's just those 2 things that kind of hinder her. Let's see.
Oh yes,
got a question. Do you agree with this statement that? And I think I seen it on the other day, on Monday, with what Ken Rashad had to say about the men's and women's basketball coaches, the teams for Jackson State, not really wanting to do post game interviews.
So, I am very big on the media when it comes to sports, when it comes to real life, politics, all of that, right? Because the media exists to report the news and tell the storylines, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons that I got involved in the SWAC was because there was a story that wasn't being told to my personal, like it was being told probably. I didn't feel it was being yelled from the mountaintops.
Right.
So I inserted myself into the media of covering the SWAC because I felt like there was a story that wasn't being told the way
Right.
I wanted it to be told. So the media is a partner. It might not always be your friend, but it's a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for us to tell your story, we need access. And you heard me talk, and I'm gonna do it again on Thursday. Talk cash shit about Florida State football coach talking about spring practice closed.
Oh,
Bitch, you
that's
ain't win
we
no game.
already said that's grounds to get fired.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't win no games to be doing that. So I understand the emotion of the moment, but for fans who don't know, it ain't like they come off the court and in they gym shoes and uniforms and doing an interview. It's
Mm-hmm.
a whole cool down process. They do their showers, the coach have their speeches. Like it's like 20, 30 minutes before we even get an opportunity to ask one question.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, when you do ask them a question, it is that company line. It is a good, well, the team played harder than us, and down the stretch, and then you might get a play or two question here and there. Especially if they won, you can ask about a specific play because I did that during the Sweat Me Act challenge. So you'll get like one or two questions that get you some insight into the game, but the rest of it is just company line. What Rashad was talking about was how the media was handled. It wasn't that just the coaches had a bad attitude, and it was the people out, the people that were
Uh-oh. You hold on.
the
You in that transfer portal.
coaches and the players that was handling the.
You was in the transfer portal
Yeah,
for a
okay.
second.
All right. So if you go to a store and somebody trying to rush, listen. I know she got.
Hold on. Hold
Hopefully
on.
I'm back. Hopefully.
All right, you back.
Hold on.
But now, I'm looking at it, to me, it's like,
All right.
it's like, especially with Coach Richard, she just lost a game where
So
it could have they could have won. But she had a game where she could have won, but hey, the chips didn't fall in her favor. But
I
at
think
the
I'm
end of
back
the
for
day,
real this time. I don't know what's going on.
okay.
I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand the emotion behind everything. We just there to tell your story. That's it. And I don't want us to get into it. And I'm talking about, when I say us, I'm talking about media. I'm out of fan mode. I'm talking about media. I don't want us to be going back and forth against each other on Twitter because of our affiliations to different schools. It does a disservice. And if I'm gonna be honest, I've seen some things and some things said about different people in this space, and it made me real mad. And I didn't say nothing because I ain't taking sides, but it pissed me off what somebody said something about this person, and somebody said something about that person. I love everybody. When I see you, I'm shaking your hand, giving you a hug. I love everybody. I make a joke about them deep people, but that's it. I'm not here to settle old scores and personal beefs. I'm here to tell a story.
Right.
And I understand what Rashad was saying. I understood what she was saying. To Timona.
Mm-hmm.
And just to let y'all know, I know everybody by their Twitter name. So it's like, so if I say somebody by their Twitter name, that's the brand that's stuck in my head. So whatever. But I understand both sides of it. But I just want everybody to know that we not your enemy. We just
but
here
I
to
don't
tell
think,
the story.
but I don't think it was.
And,
but I think the way it was set up, they was trying to do the press conference like probably like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes after the game. But you got to understand, like, if you're a competitor like both of those, Coach Richards and Coach Mo, both of they are, like, and as athletes, it's like, man, we just lost. I really don't want to talk to nobody. That's why I gave the analysis, the analogy between, when Chris Webber, remember in '93 when they lost in that championship game against North Carolina. That boy did not want to talk to nobody. He was head down, he was crying, and they forced him to go because like I said, the media was looking for him. They wanted to talk to him. They forced him to go, and it's like it's like it to me, you know what I'm saying, being a 13, 14-year-old looking at that was painful. Just like literally when I'm saying painful, it was painful to the point where it's like, dude, he just lost this game, bro. Like, let him cool off. Talk to him, maybe talk to him a day or two after the game, afterwards, because in your head it's like you lost. It's something that you just don't, you know what I'm saying? Athlete and just people in general, it's something that you just don't want to relive again. But I mean, at the end of the day, you still are representative of the university and stuff like that, and you still represent yourself as far as your family name and stuff. You still got to go out there and do what you have to do, because it ain't. I mean, for the coaches, it's a job. For the players, this is, hey, y'all asked me, I'm gonna come out here and tell what's up. Say, let you know what happened, and any other questions I'm gonna ask to the fullest. But not after you just, you know what I'm saying? Not after you just lost the game. Like, especially games like those two that would, you know what I'm saying, they were down to the wire.
So I want to make sure that I do this. One, for those people who saying, oh, you trying to bring a black person down, that's not what we're doing. One. Two, I know a lot of the spiciness towards Rashad was because of the video title, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the thumbnail. A lot of that came from the thumbnail. Here's something y'all need to know. If it is 100% positive, we don't get the views. So sometimes even I have to put that clickbait title in there. And I got the numbers. The clickbait titles, y'all eat up. The ones that I don't clickbait, if I'm not yelling fuck Tom Brady, if I'm not saying I want to fire the head coach, it take y'all a while to view it. But them titles that catch a nerve, y'all watch it. That's 2. 3. My daddy used to tell me this all the time. I used to think I was hot shit at track when I was younger, because when I win, I would talk shit. That's why I got a problem with Ash, because he do the exact same thing. But when I lost,
you won't say nothing.
I wasn't talking, and my daddy used to tell me all the time, you ain't learned nothing. And you learn by going through the loss. So what we're saying is that, and this is Parent Troy saying this, we kind of shield kids from the bad and only let them celebrate the good. You have to let them go through the bad, because that makes them stronger. Because if one of those kids does that interview, and Chris Webber was an excellent analogy.
Yeah.
Chris Webber went through that thing and then got a tag on his car that said timeout and had a wonderful NBA career. He could very well have been shielded from that and then been the weakest NBA player we ever saw.
I mean, the same thing happened with Larry Johnson when they lost the championship game against Duke. He said, what was his last word? He said, I should have took the last shot. That was it. He was already upset. You talking about a dude that's 6'5", 6'6", 240 pounds. That's like, and he got broken down to the most minuscule in that interview. It's like, hey, I should have took the last shot. But then that's where you come in as the head coach to go ahead and shield your players. But it's a lesson learned for everybody in this right here. So I'm not even gonna go ahead and, like you said, beat a dead horse on it. It is what it is. It happened. Oh well, let's move on. All right. For let's see, for FAMU, what do they need for next season? And first of all, did he sign a damn contract?
So my understanding, and I want to say it exactly like that. My understanding, AD 19, AD Suggs said on the Off Script show that Coach Curry signed the contract. I have not seen anything to the contrary. The Tallahassee Democrat has not posted anything to the contrary. And we had Devron on the show. He would have said something to the contrary. What FAMU needs two things, right? We need patience, resources, and big guards.
Right.
Also, that 7-footer that just asked to get released from his letter of intent, and the 7-footer who is on campus right now, who shot 38% from the field. Don't let him leave Tallahassee. That's what FAMU needs. FAMU needs that. I think every SWAC school needs to, have their NIL collectors running optimally, and FAMU is no different. Like once their basketball NIL collective gets to that point where they can go, okay, we know this budget, that budget, we can offer this player this player this, and this player that. I am different than a lot of other people in the HBCU space where it is okay for players to ask for NIL money before they hit campus, if it is available. If it's not available, hey, it's just not available.
Right.
And even if you give them money, trust and believe they not just coming to a HBCU just for money. I tell y'all all the time, if the recruit ain't come in on Friday when the set is jumping, we are doing something wrong.
Right.
Because as many times as I cross Gain Street to be on the set, trust and believe that is the selling point to any athlete in America.
Right. All right. Boy, let me get Marlo on here. What do the school in Daytona need right now?
So they just had a bunch of players. I think they had 3 players hit the portal. One of them is their stretch 4 that hit the portal. One thing about Coach Theus, I don't necessarily worry about him being able to get players. This year, he has shown the ability to coach up his players and play well. At one point, they was number 2 in the conference. I think they slipped to number 3. So that school in Daytona, they are basketball wise, they are out. They're doing better than their resources. I'll say that.
That's a good analogy right there.
When I talked to Coach Theus, I asked him hey, because I asked all the coaches the same thing. What can the fans do? He said, money. Show up. and support the university. They need money. It's no secret about it. We make little jabs or whatever about it, and Marlo like make little jabs about it. But when we talk, they need money. And Puss in White Boots in Tallahassee like to tell everybody that this is what I'm doing for HBCUs. And okay, I think it was like 143 million they gave to Bethune-Cookman. Florida State got like 400-600 million dollars, something like that in the state budget. So you what are you doing? You're not really doing anything. And the
You're
money
not
that
doing the Lord's work,
so Bethune needs money. And the people that I've now know that is on their board of trustees, again, I'm gonna have some questions for them when they come back on the show, because they need to be better resource. And once the school is better resource, you're putting out more alumni, you're putting out more people who come to games. And look, that game against FAMU, that gym was packed. I don't care what nobody say. Yes, it's a small gym. It's Daytona. But it was packed. It was packed. It's an older gym, but it was
Marlo said they should have had it at Mainland, which is a high school.
Man, Marlo was just he get on my nerves with that. And again, I got to thank Bryce for letting us come in. Every chance I get, I'm gonna thank Bryce, because I don't want him to think we just bashing the university. We not. Like, these just jokes. That's the fan part of everything we do. But Bethune-Cookman had that thing jumping. Less for the women's game, but more for the men's game. The men's game was jumping, and it was a good, like I showed y'all the clips. It was a good, exciting game. It went down to the last shot in the corner. They have a basketball product that is amazing for the SWAC. They just need resources.
Let's head on to the state of Mississippi, into the Delta, what the Mississippi Valley needs.
They need to figure out a way to get people to games.
They can get people to the games.
If they can, so when we talk to Coach, right? SWAC for the media day, right?
Yeah, they get people to the games.
You need people to show up, and of course, you need people to support the university. So, and again, I didn't get a chance to see them a lot on TV, so I don't know what their how many people they get to games. I think, what was it? Alabama State had the largest attendance.
Yeah.
In the SWAC. So, and I don't know what their attendance looked like, but, and it's just based on when I talk to Coach. If they're getting people to games, then it's just resources.
I'm going to say this for Mississippi Valley. Y'all kind of have a bad look on the men's side, especially from that story from the New York Post, and that was for the athletic, being your name being involved in a point shaving gambling ring, right? Second of all, need to get a true AD so Coach Ivory can go ahead and Coach Ivory can go ahead and get a just to be the head coach. But also, I just think they just need to go ahead and blow the whole thing up. Just blow it up, start over from scratch. This season was a wash. I just think that it needs to be blown up. That's what I think. I think it needs to be blown up to the point where it just needs to blow up to smithereens. Coach Ivory, thank you for your services, but we no longer need you right now. We need to go ahead and go into a whole different direction.
So that whole gambling thing, I just want to make sure people understand that gambling thing. So when you gamble, you create a profile, right?
Yep.
And that profile tells us I'm a programmer. For those that don't know, I'm a programmer by trade, and I've worked on a gambling app. And they know where you are when you place your bets, who you placing bets on, the type of things that you like, what, depending on the app, where you shop, all these other things. So they have a profile of you. There are, because I have a non-disclosure agreement, I'm going to say this generically. There are profiles that get flagged from the moment you sign up.
Right.
There are reasons that they know who you are and what you are if your affiliation is with certain places. When you start placing bets, if you are one of those flagged accounts, they track and monitor everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if it don't look right,
they're going to say something.
They say something. And that's what happened with Mississippi Valley and North Carolina A&T. And it's a lot of back and forth, and A&T people got mad at me because I didn't know what I was talking about, yada, yada. I'm talking programmatically. That's why red flags were thrown up. So people's affiliation was why that got thrown up. And I don't necessarily think players themselves were placing bets, but the people who may have been orbiting the university may have placed bets. And that's why it was a red flag. So, but I think anything other than how they did the Adidas scandal, if that gets treated anything other than that, and the way this story has progressed at a snail's pace, they're probably going to do the same thing. We're going to see a little byline in the middle of the national championship game that, whoever was arrested for it, it won't be anybody in the universities. It'll be, some Joe Schmo in the middle of nowhere. And that'll be the end of it. So it should be a bigger scandal, but it's not. So I want to say that about that.
Yeah, so I think they just need to blow it up and start all over from scratch. Of course, we just talked about Alcorn earlier. They're gonna need a coach. He gone to Chicago. He gone to the south side of Chicago. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. On Jackson State, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. On the men's side, we need more bigs, and we need to have a better bench that needs to be developed. That's the reason why Mo didn't go too deep in the bench, because he didn't trust it. He didn't trust them to come into a game where it's that, you know what I'm saying, all that shit on that with that magnitude right there, right? He did not trust it to the point where, like, I hope they can get this shit done. I hope they can get it done. But that's the reason why he kept the starters out. He kept the starters. That's why starters in the game. That's the reason why he didn't take none of the starters out, other than for injury. Kevion came in. Kevion got subbed out because of injury. Jamie Mitchell Jr. got subbed out because of injury. You played both of your big men where you could have had, maybe you could have had Grant run with the ones, and then you could have Mansell run with the twos.
So I haven't, and I've been, again, I got this new obsession with the transfer blotters. I haven't seen anybody from Jackson State transfer, right?
Nah.
Do y'all have any graduations coming up? Grant is what?
Grant, he grad student, so he gone.
He gone. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was his last season.
So you need another big. And
We
again,
need two. Mansell gone too.
Oh, wow, that's right. So you got to go. Listen, it's a bunch of high school bigs out there. Like, it's that transfer portal. If you get you a transfer big, God bless you. But that portal is full of guards right now. Absolutely full of guards. Keep your behind away from Tallahassee. Let me figure out where I can get them dudes across the street. but it's crazy because I never knew how limited the bigs were going to be in the portal. The high school bigs is the move. It just is the move. If he can get him some high school bigs, it's Jackson State. He'll be able to keep him there once he get him on campus.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be able to keep him, at least 3 years. I'm sorry, let me say this. He'll be able to keep him there as long as they're not SWAC player of the year. Because apparently being SWAC player of the year means you immediately transfer. But if we get them on campus, they're gonna be fine.
Well, we ain't got to worry about that because Sterling Young was the player of the year. He said deuces. He didn't even play in the tournament game, did he?
No, he was injured. He got injured in the Bethune-Cookman game. So, but yeah, I mean, Jackson State is gonna be fine. Jackson State women, I think the women, y'all got what 65% of the squad coming back, right?
Nah, we got probably 45% of the squad coming back because we got 9 players to replace. Starting with the SWAC player and newcomer of the year, Talia Dilworth.
Yeah. So, what's crazy again? Being able to get D2 players to come in and contribute, knowing they got extra years now, that's gonna be big. That is gonna be big. If you can get you contributing D2 players, they're gonna have 2+ years, depending on where they played at, to keep playing. And if I'm not mistaken, JUCO get 2 years, D2 get 2 years. So it's about to be the Wild Wild West out there. It's about to be the Wild Wild West. But yeah, Jackson State will be fine.
Yeah. I think we need some more shooters. I think we need better ball handlers because we tend to pick that ball up. We tend to pick up our dribble at the most craziest times in the game or in the craziest spots in the game, right? Where it's like, why would you pick up your dribble in the middle of the floor? Come on, you got to keep that dribble up.
But a lot of that is experience. A lot of it's just experience. That's all.
And then you gotta realize too, man. I think people need to understand this team was a ragtag team that was made from scratch out of Aunt Betty's kitchen.
Y'all had people. Your coach got off the bus and immediately went to recruiting. Like that. This off season was crazy because you had what Jackson State, FAMU, who else had Alabama A&M. You had coaches getting off the bus and putting squads together.
Well, your coach, so in FAMU, he didn't get the job to what, May, right?
Yeah, he didn't get the job in May.
So Tamika Reed left to go to Charlotte in April. So we in the same spot. We're in the same spot. I think Dawn, she got hers like I know it went April, maybe it was probably late March, early April. So she was the first one to get. She was the first one. I think they went to after the tournaments to go ahead and get what they needed, and of course, A&M been scouting her because AD Brown ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. That dude is trying to. That dude is trying to progress everywhere.
They have the facilities to do it, and I don't know again all that goes on in the Alabama politics and how the universities get their money. But if you look at those facilities compared to some other facilities, I'm sitting here going, I don't know. It's difficult for recruits to walk away from that because they are well supported.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, now the question, Prairie View A&M.
Oh yeah, Coach Pugh on the women's side.
That I don't know. Like I haven't been around long enough to understand. Prairie View A&M is an anomaly to me. I don't like their campus from the pictures that I saw to everything people post.
Bro, that campus is A1. See, this is what happens when you partially get Texas A&M money.
Mm-hmm. And wait a minute. No, actually, when we get to UAPB, we'll talk about that because
they need Jesus.
They have. Is that boy still? I don't think that young man hit the transfer portal.
Who you talking about, Dr.
Yeah, Dr.
I know you talking. Dr. Is it Dr. Bailey? Dr.
I think it's Dr. Bailey. And
okay.
This is stupid. Men's basketball. Hey ESPN, I'm still complaining about your app that doesn't work properly because I should not be on the SWAC link and then have to go to the Patriot to see the SWAC link. Absolute crazy. Anyway, yeah, that young man, because of everything that he went through, them first two games, it was averaging what, 28, 30 points a game?
Yeah, Dr. Bradley.
Dr. Bradley, that's what it is. They need some, if they get some talent around him. I think he doesn't he have like another 2. He should have another year or 2.
So he is.
Because he comes over from New Mexico State.
So he's a junior.
New Mexico. Yeah, so he got another year.
I don't know if he entered the transfer portal though.
I haven't seen it.
So, and he only played 18 games.
Did he get injured?
Probably, I think so.
Okay. You know, one day we're going to do a show on the people who are doing websites for NCAA schools.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a come to Jesus moment. Because, yeah, so his first 2 games, he had 35 and 40.
Yeah, he was cooking. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's 6'8". He can shoot the mid range. He can shoot from downtown. He can rebound. If he decide to get into the transfer portal and go, let's just say he go to another SWAC school. Let's just say preferably, let's say he go to Jackson. Boy, Mo will lose his shit.
Listen, a 6'8" dude that can score is a rare thing. Like, and I'm talking about with ease. Now a few of these games, I ain't gonna lie. That Southern game, he still shot 40% from three. Was it 40? I'm sorry, 40% from the field. But he can flat out score. And the way this new NCAA is going, I mean, the way the new basketball is going, fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
Fit right in. But again, now I don't. Since we over there in his neck of the woods, Texas Southern.
Oh yeah, men's side.
Yeah, John. I don't think Coach Jones is gonna take what happened this year lying down.
Nah,
I expect him to land some recruits.
I think he'll have some recruits come in.
I expect him to land
It's Houston.
some recruits.
It's Houston. So
he can just get players. He can just flat out get players. And it won't even. I mean, and that's the thing. When you can recruit your home area, you can write your own ticket.
mm-hmm. All right, game schedule. All right, so let's talk about this. The Black College Invitational Championship starts tomorrow in Charlotte, North Carolina, at Bojangles, at the Bojangles Coliseum. So first game on the women's side is Clark Atlanta versus Virginia Union. That starts at noon. The 2 p.m. game is Central State men versus Claflin. The 6 p.m. game is Johnson C. Smith versus Livingstone women. And then the 8 p.m. game is Johnson C. Smith versus Virginia Union on the men's side. Is that all that they're going to do?
So,
what was the issue with bringing SWAC and the MEAC?
They alluded to it. I don't know. I don't know all the details to it.
Because then Grambling accept the bid with them, set they bid, the women's.
So again, Josh, he went live on Monday, and I think based on, it was kind of cryptic, but based on what he said, the D2 HBCUs committed without a problem. I think they were running into pushback because there were entities in the Division I space that was given some interference with them getting 2 teams from the SWAC and 2 teams from the MEAC. So
basically, it was the NIT and the NIT, these other. Yeah,
I'm gonna cuss. The fucked up part is the NIT didn't bring one HBCU squad to the front. So
on the men's side, but on the women's side,
yeah, they did that. They did that, but this is a good thing. I hate that he going through having to fight forces with the ability to wreak some havoc in the D1 space. But I think once this tournament goes off, if it goes off without a hitch, I think a lot of those mindsets will change. And I think it'll be a good thing. The only reason I'm not going to be there is because I got this health issue. And
Right.
that lady not letting me leave town. But she leaving town this weekend.
You gotta stay there and suffer.
If I can go out of town with her, but
you can't do nothing else.
I can't do nothing else. So, but yeah, no, it's gonna be a good thing. It's good for the city of Charlotte. It's good for East Coast basketball. I've always said, history. We have the CIAA as a historic monument to basketball. Like, it is a key story in the history of basketball in the United States. And we forget that. And to have another entity to remind us that HBCU basketball is something special, man, that's a good thing. That is a good thing.
All right. So, shout out to Langston men's basketball that's in the round of 16 again in the NAIA tournament. For those that don't understand, that don't know, Langston was the national runner-up in the NAIA tournament last season. They lost to Free Hardeman out of Tennessee, in which that game was...
It was a dogfight.
It was a dogfight. It was exciting. They played at Kansas Municipal Auditorium. It was a great game, but it did not end out on the way that he wanted, that Coach Wright wanted it to end. So, they are in the Naismith quadrant, and they are the number 4 seed, but they're playing the number 1. They're playing the 1 seed College of Idaho. That is 5:00 p.m. tomorrow. Looks like the full number 1 seed was Free Hardeman, if I'm not mistaken. But if they get out of the quadrant,
so we just gonna have that man shouldn't have a.
That man, Chris Wright, he need to go on and come on to a SWAC job for real.
I don't like. If I'm the representative of a university in the SWAC that does not currently have a coach, I'm at every game. Every time he go to his car, I'm letting them know who I am and what I represent. Because, there are people who thought he would be in Tallahassee.
He should have been in Tallahassee. Not taking anything from Coach Kramer, from Coach Crary, but he was supposed to be the first pick to go to Tallahassee. I don't know what's up with y'all board of directors, board of trustees, but they need to get on their shit.
That lady picked Coach Crary, and I'm glad she picked him. And it is one of the few, as a fan, not as media, as a fan, it is one of the few resumes that I looked at during the process that I was like, oh, this might be the one. I had not met him. I like to look at resumes before I start meeting personalities, because I'm a personality guy. If a guy got a good personality, but he a trash coach, I'm going to like the guy because he got a good personality. This dude, Crary, had a good resume, and he had a good personality when I met him. But Coach Wright, I again did think he was going to be in Tallahassee, and him not having a SWAC job is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, and I don't know if it's a MEAC job that's going to be available. I'm not saying he don't deserve a MEAC job. I'm just saying.
Unless Robert Jones is a toodaloo, because somebody's going to come pick up Coach Jones. I promise you, somebody going to come pick up Coach Jones, and that dude from Brooklyn going wherever he go.
So
somebody going to pick him up.
What?
Somebody's going to, I promise you, somebody, let me say it this last time. Somebody's going to come pick up Coach Vickers for that women's squad.
And I don't listen. I don't know a lot of Langston fans and alumni. Don't cut me. I'm just saying I'm shocked after the last 2 years that he's still there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know he came from Talladega, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he did the same shit at Talladega, right? Took him to the national championship game and they lost.
So if the fan bases that are looking at coaches look at coaches the same way Florida State boosters and alumni look at coaches, losing in the national championship game may turn some people off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will look at, okay, if he lost in the national championship game, you know, what was his team like? Did he coach above what was expected? Resources. Did they have to travel? Like, I look at all those things when I'm looking at coaches, especially when I'm looking at coaches' resumes, because I've seen some coaches' resumes and they had all of these superlatives on there. And then when you do the research, you're like, he got bounced in the first round and had the best team. I look at stuff like that. So, and my opinion on coaches don't mean a hill of beans. I just know that when I start talking about coaches, I want to be able to know who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. Also, when I be pretending that I don't know ball, it's a lie. I do that because I don't want to talk like I'm an actual coach. I talk like a fan. But those are the things that I look at. It's and especially in the off. Listen, I have the most fun in the off season because hope springs eternal in the off season, especially after last year's Florida State season. I need the off season so bad.
Well, I'm gonna say this. This season, y'all better not sleep on that, man. Y'all better not sleep on Coach Wright again. Cause he goes somewhere. If he end up going somewhere where you it's your rival, you might well just say this.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
What? The lady coach kill me at the end. What?
Oh man, listen. That was me earlier this week when Coach Lux came into Florida State, and I seen all them players hit the portal and had a letter of intent released.
That boy ready to hit that portal.
I was ready to flip all this shit over. I don't give a damn
they
if
ready to hit that portal. So soon as the name wasn't even, if it wasn't Sam Cassell, yeah.
And to be fair to Ski Mask, and for those who don't follow me, Ski Mask is Florida State's athletic director, AD Alford. To be fair to Ski Mask, word on the street was Sam Cassell was going to be extremely expensive. And we felt like because of everything that transpired with one of our collectives, that this will be a transition year. So it seems like this was a prudent, cost-effective hire. You know how I
Man,
feel.
I'm gonna say this. Them nigga got money. You might well go and shell out that money. What you talking about?
So I don't want to jinx the season, but based on look, it's that lady. Based on everything that I understand about what happened with the settlement, should the head football coach stumble, we now have resources to make sure that we can extricate him from his position. I'm gonna say that as nice as I can. See, I've been good on your show. Hold on 1 second.
Well, it is what it is. Look like UC San Diego trying to make a little small comeback. They down by 10 in the fourth quarter with 6.5 minutes left. But all right, man, we're gonna go ahead, take a quick commercial break. Be right back. You might hear me laugh about this. All right, be right back.
It's your boy Doc Holliday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shout-outs, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket.
All right, we back. So, look, the last part of this show, we're gonna talk about mental health. It's our mental health check-in. I haven't done it in a while, as far as try to do monthly, but we're gonna try to start off again doing monthly mental health check-in. Wait till my guy get back in. So when he come back, I'll be back on there. So I know for me, for what I'm going through right now, living by myself and you know, the rigors of trying to find a better paying job. I tend to have lulls at some point in time. So he said about the whole story. All right. I tend to have lulls at some point in time, where I think about what could have been, what should have been, what I need to do next time, and stuff like that. Instead of just trying to live in the moment. And it's a thing that I did last Friday. I didn't really do too much, but the Friday before, I decided to take a me day, just me. So I walked to Family Dollar, got some stuff, and then I seen it was a donut shop that was right next to the Family Dollar. So I went over there and got me some donuts. They done messed up now. I seen that donut shop. What up, EA? But got back home, took a shower, put some shorts on because it was warm outside. Took my backpack, took my camera with me and everything, and took the train downtown to downtown Dallas. Got off at where American Airlines Center is. Took pictures over there. Then I decided to get on the scooter and just ride the scooter around downtown West End, up places like that, and just continue taking pictures and stuff like that. Taking pictures over at Dealey Plaza and the 6th floor museum, the building, the Texas Book Depository building. Took pictures of that and stuff like that. And I ended up, once I finished doing that, I ended up going over to my sister's house and just spent the day, spent the time over there talking to my mom and everything. But then after I left from over there, took the train back over here to Irving, got me some hamburgers from a place called Griff's. If you ain't never been to Griff's, holla at me. They on point. And then other than that, got to the house, got myself ready for the next day because I had to go to work the next day. And, that was my day. And it's been times where I come where I'm just here and I don't have really nobody to talk to. I mean, it just to the point where I watch TV or I just fall asleep on the couch and everything. Like I said, been going through some stuff, been trying to make sure my rent get paid and stuff like that. Mr. Haynes, the score is 58-48. Southern is up. They got 4 minutes left in the game. But that's things that I'm trying to do to make, basically kind of keep my head leveled and everything. But yeah, we on our mental health check-in, so try to make sure that I don't go crazy because I've been trying to find another job and stuff like that. In fact, I actually got an interview Friday. I got an interview Friday noon with Aldi. I've been trying to get on with Aldi for a minute. So, and plus they ain't giving up their DEI.
Yeah, them in Costco.
Yeah, they ain't giving up DEI. They say fuck Trump. But now I just try to do things to get my mind right, get my mind straight. Hopefully this job I can get it and I can get the actual my health benefits back because I can get it right now with Walgreens because I haven't been working 30 or more hours a week in months, and they had to give up my health benefits, which I think is stupid because but at the same time I just make sure that I keep a level head and do things, just keep level head and keep my mind occupied. That's why sometimes I don't even be on. I haven't reached out to EA, but I'm thinking about doing it. I'm really thinking about doing it. But I'm just trying to keep my head. I'm just trying to keep my head right because it's already hard out here the way I'm, with being by myself, struggling, financially because I pay child support. That's what happens when you have a divorce settlement. You gotta pay something. So I gotta pay child support. It's already hard on me right there because everything is away from finances that I really need.
Well, I will tell you this. Keep your head up. This is the crucible. This is not the story. Once you get through this, you're going to be better for it on the other side. But I'll tell anybody, because especially what I'm going through possibly for the second time, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself. Because one, we got little people. We got little people. So I hate saying this phrase, but we have to do stuff. We have to be strong for them, but we also got to be an example for them.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that example is being mentally okay to say I'm not okay. I am a big advocate. Like, I check on people. There are people that I don't even really know like that outside of Twitter in this space. I haven't seen J. Dot from Alabama A&M, and I sent her a DM. Hey, you okay? I ain't seen you in a while. I said you a few weeks back. You had kind of fell off the face of earth for a little minute, and I said, hey, you all right? Because we got to check in on our people.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that yesterday. He had me all right. Shit, I was at work. And I didn't even know. I had forgot. I was like, man, you know what? I don't feel like slapping nobody at work today. Let me jump on it. Let me jump on there for a second and get a laugh or two or something like that. But yeah, now I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't okay. Not as how I was a long time ago. So
it's as long as you working through it, it is okay not to be okay. Like that whole I'm no longer subscribing to that whole like I gotta be the tough guy. It is okay to not be okay. But I'm gonna be okay.
Right.
But,
right. And I think people need to, because we need, like I said, check in, check up, because the simple fact, you just don't know what folks going through. You know what I'm saying? I'm halfway across the country from some folks, and I be going through shit, man. And I be like, shoot, look, I'm trying to keep a roof over my head. I'm trying to, like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that I'm trying to decide, do I keep the roof on my head and don't eat, or do I eat and risk losing my place? And those are decisions that I be making almost every day or every week or something like that. And it just, I get tired. Like, I get tired. Like, man, I wish I had, it's like, I wish I had help again. I wish I had help, not more, not just financially, but just what I'm saying, emotionally. But like it is crazy, I tell folks like some people just don't understand. Like I come in the house, I come in an empty house, and ain't nobody for me to talk to. And and it's crazy, but that just like really that's just how I'm living right now.
Just know this too will pass, and if you ever need to pick up the phone and call, man, call me.
So
I don't have I don't have no problem telling anybody what I'm going through, because right now I just had to bring in all the groceries because that lady don't bring in no groceries ever. But that's what I signed up for. That's what I signed up for. I am husband, valet, bag man. It's what you sign up for. And then she came in the house looking at me strange because I'm on a podcast that's not on a Tuesday or Thursday.
So what you doing?
Oh yeah. She looked at the light first. She looked at the light and she looked at me.
So now I mean, it's some things I just go through, but I don't know.
Well,
so but yeah, I'm gonna continue doing this thing, man, and I'm probably gonna do it every shit. I would say every month, but hell, I might have to do it every week.
man, we are here. We are here.
And I just got a text message from my crew. So let me get off this thing, and man, I appreciate you for joining me tonight.
No problem, man.
We'll be on this thing tomorrow night. As we mash up how we do the mash up on Thursday, we talk about everything tomorrow night. So and if you want to get Marlo to crash out, watch the show.
I'm gonna be honest. It's probably y'all gonna have to deal with me because I'm not okay with top 100 guards and 7-footers just going out the door. I ain't okay with that, but I'll tell y'all about that tomorrow because not okay.
All right, man. I appreciate you. We're gonna be up at this thing. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, hug your loved ones, love on your loved ones. And again, like my man said, like he said, make sure you get your mental check. And we out this thing. Peace.